three of those. I can vouch they're all awesome.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had pretty much all of them. So
nice little summer drink I've been kind of getting into is taking my blackcurrant and mixing a shot of vodka with it and mixing it with a little bit of 7-Up, put it on ice, sit on the back deck, and very nice drink.
That's right. Just dangle that in front of me when you don't ship in the United States. Thanks so much.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's all the more reason you got to come across the border and visit me.
I know, yeah. So I'll see what I can do. You know, I really do. I really do got to get up there. I just, this year is going to be weird because if I do go to Michigan, it'll be to connect up with my daughter who's having a baby in November. So,
is that right?
As we get closer, the people are going to have to listen to me say that a lot more. But yeah, I'm going to be a grandma in November. So.
No.
So,
and whereabouts is she in Michigan?
She's not in Michigan. She actually lives near Seattle. She's in the Army out there, but she's my dad's got a cottage. Well, my folks live in Western Michigan, and Dad's got a cottage, and so she's going to fly home to the cottage and spend her and hopefully her husband will be spending the vacation there. So.
Nice. Yeah.
Hey, Jay's waving a bottle of blackcurrant at me. Just remember, you have to sleep sometime, and you're not that far across the border.
Yeah. I can maybe you can pull up the St. Clair, and I can maybe float one across to you.
Right? Yeah. I can just stand there. We can just throw a rope and just sort of tow it over. Yeah. Smuggle it across the border or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to be illegal in any way, shape, or form.
No. Drive across and buy it. I mean, if I'm going to come all the way up to St. Clair, I might as well just drive across and get the stuff. He's only 30 miles on the other side of the lake. So.
Yeah, and I'm very close. Very close. Yeah.
So, yeah, it's not that big a deal, really. It's just a matter of getting to that side of the state and then having adequate time to drive over there and spend some time, because I ain't going to do a drive-in, buy-and-leave thing. It'll be and this is what makes my husband crazy. He'd be like, seriously, can we go now? Yeah. We've been here for 3.5 hours. It's like, really? We don't want to leave yet.
Yeah.
But we're not done.
But there's bees to see.
Yeah. Yeah, we could suit you right up and take you out to the beehives and
that would be
get
so
your plane.
cool. I've never done that. That would be so awesome.
Yeah, we'll suit you up.
Yeah.
And then you can get some pictures of yourself. Yeah,
Right.
There you go. You better get here.
I know. All right. Let me see what I can pull together. Maybe I could lure my daughter back over with me. Oh, she's scared of bees. Wait, that won't work. I can't suit her up, but we could put her in and sit her down with a glass of something. She'd be all right with that, maybe.
Yeah.
You let me know. I'll meet you there. We can go out in the suits together.
That'll sound. Yeah, there we go. I'll get AJ down there. I'll leave my daughter at the cottage. She'll be happier. Go get AJ and we'll have fun. All right, so we'll let you get on with things. Say hey to Chris for me.
Will do. Yeah.
To both of you and the kids and everything, and I'll catch you in a while.
Yep, for sure. Thank you very much.
Thanks for coming on, man.
Yep, no problem. Bye.
Thank you so much.
All right, bye, John.
That was fun.
Yeah, it was. He's really cool. I mean, I've been hanging out with him at the Mazer Cup, and before that at the Mead Festival for as long as I've been going, or almost as long as I've been going. And he's always a ton of fun. He's interesting, and he's just a great guy. So, but he didn't give me a commercial, so I made one for him. Because, he deserves that. So Munro Honey is the first meadery in the province of Ontario, and they introduced their first mead for purchase, dry mead, in February 2000. Since that time, John Bryans, who we were just talking to, has added to their mead list to include 2 more traditional meads, 4 melomels, and a barrel-aged mead made with buckwheat honey. That's the one he was talking about. That's special only. You can't get it anywhere but at the shop. Munro Honey runs approximately 3,000 hives, so if you're wanting to get bulk honey, this is the place in Ontario. They provide pollination service, they sell queens, and they offer bee supplies. Their honey is distributed in grocery stores throughout southwestern Ontario, and their meat is available at their on-site retail store, which is at 3115 River Street in Alveston, Ontario, or through their website at www.munrohoney.com.
And they've been around for 100 years.
They have, yeah. They've been around. They've been in business for, the original company started over 100 years ago, 102 years. So, yeah, they've been around quite a while. So, making mead back to basics.
So we're going to talk about honey today. I'm not going to tell you how it's made. You can Google that on your own time. What we're interested in is not how it's made, but what went into it and how it may have been processed before we get our little grubby hands on it. Now, there was a question from Evolving Caveman online about on Gottmead about filtration. And does anybody want to take that one, or you want me to have a stab at it?
Well,
Did you
What
see
he
the
was-
question, Manny? It should have come to you.
I can tell you that I don't like filtered honey. I try to get my honey as unfiltered as possible, to the point where I've got bees and wax and all sorts of stuff in the primary fermenter, and I find that that's always the best, because to filter it they got to heat it, and that's not good.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
Whereas-
That's my only thing is filtration. I guess is necessary for commercial honey, but I try to stay away from it.
Whereas I personally don't really want to be sticking my fingers in the honey pot when I'm going to run into bee bits. So, you know.
In the end.
Well, yeah, but, you know.
No, yeah.
I'm kind of with Manny on this one. If filtration just takes everything out of it that makes it what it is.
Well, there's also a difference between the filtration, which is just getting, you know, mechanical filtration of getting the big bits out of it, and the ultrafiltration, which takes everything right down to the pollen out of it.
True.
And, you know, I think the ultrafiltration, I think, is what's been getting a really bad rep.
Yeah.
For good
Because
reason,
because at that point you can't tell where it may have come from, and you can't even tell if, you know, it's in fact honey or if somebody's just added sugar water.
Yeah, that's just true. That's kind of more what I was thinking on the lines of. Not, you know, running it through a sieve to knock out the big bits. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, me too. That's not, or sometimes they even centrifuge it, and that's, you know, fine. You know.
Yeah, like the stuff that I was working with today, I finally got my bomb underway. The stuff I was working with today has just the faintest little bit of grit to it that settles out or floats sometimes. And, you know, I'm okay with that. But,
Sure.
you know, I certainly don't want to be seeing legs and stingers and wax bits.
Well, entire
Yeah, it adds
bees.
protein.
Yeah, but not when I want to put it on my toast, too.
Yeah, but then
Ew.
you could say it's paleo meat.
That's a little too hardcore for
I'm
me.
sorry, I've been waiting to do that for a while.
Find a hollowed log to brew it in.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I actually, there is a distinction for me too. If I'm not making mead with the honey, and it's like you said, it's the honey I'm going to put on my toast, then yeah, filter it.
I want that shit to be buttless. Yeah, totally.
Yeah, be buttless, nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, don't want any stingers or butts on my toast. That would be.
It's all about the butts. That's
It's
great.
all about those butts. Well, since the stingers are attached to the butts, one would think you get at least part of one, you know.
They do sort of come deep. Well, you'd get the heart, I think, because
Well,
the
and
heart.
then,
attached
and
to
then
the-
okay, and here we go. And then the honey would taste like ass.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that was bad.
oh, she went there.
Yeah, I really had to. This is why I clicked the explicit button when we
Just
do
because you
this.
never know with this
You
group.
just never know what we're gonna say. That's right.
All right. Well, I think that's you know, it's safe to say if you like the taste of your honey, you'll probably like it as a mead. You may need to adjust the sweetness level because I would imagine, depending on the honey, some are a little bit better for dry than others. And you know, when I make my traditionals, I always throw a kilogram of buckwheat in it too, just to add a little darker color and a little added complexity. And you know, I don't find the stuff I get has that much of a barnyard flavor.
I think it's good as even the sort of barnyardy kind. If you're not using it as your primary honey, it's not so bad, really. You know, you're adding what, a kilogram to how big a batch?
Like a 5-gallon batch.
Okay, so you know,
So
we're
it's
not
like
talking a lot,
maybe-
a couple
yeah.
pounds of honey.
Yeah,
point-
that's
Yeah,
like
we're
adding
talking like-
hops to beer.
It's like 2 pounds in my 18 or 2 pounds in my 15 or 18 pounds of honey.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's like you say. It's just going to backstop it a little bit and add just a little bit of complexity. I mean, I don't see a problem with that. But I made a 5-gallon batch with buckwheat honey once. I waited years. It never turned into anything that you could drink or even cook with or turn into vinegar or really anything. It ended up going down the drain.
Well, you see, that's the thing. The jar of buckwheat that I had today, I was, I had honey all over the lid, and I licked that off, and it's still good honey. I don't find it bad. I would probably, if I could get it in a quantity where I would want to make a big batch out of it, I would consider it with this particular stuff that's from Creerars, which is, if you take one of the main streets that runs right through the center of Ottawa and head south on it for like 20 kilometers, there's an apiary there that supplies, well, that's my main supplier, in a place called Vernon, and the place is called Creerars Honey, and they've been going for probably close to as long as Munro's has been. I get a lot of my honey there, but they have big buckets of clover, which is their white honey, and their golden honey is predominantly goldenrod, and they also sell by the small jar the buckwheat. But I don't find their buckwheat as strong and barnyardy as everybody seems to describe it. So. It's everything's going to depend on the honey you've got too. So, some people may find clover works with, such and such a fruit, but your clover may be a little bit more potent, or the growing season may have been a little bit different, so it may have ended up stronger or not as strong. This is the challenge with working with a natural product that's not the same from year to year. And yeah, so what else did I want to talk about before we got into the varieties? Trying to figure out whether you're going to like it as a mead. You can always just try a small batch. And a lot of the things you want to pay attention to when you're selecting a honey for a batch would be the aroma as well as the taste. Because the aroma is, I think Oscar backed me up on this. The aroma is kind of what you're left with after you ferment out all the sugars.
Oh yeah, I'll back you up on that too. I completely agree with that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I have to go out there.
Yeah, now I don't tend to go all the way dry because I don't really like it, and yeah, it does tend to get watery if you don't leave at least a little bit of honey in there.
I tend towards the sweeter meads myself. I kind of fell in with a bad crowd at the beginning.
And I understand. I've been told that my taste is in my toes when it comes to wine, according to my mother. So, I like my mother says I have no taste when it comes to anything fine. So, I like what I like, and that's what I like, and that's what I make, because that's what I like.
Yeah.
And why would I make something I don't like?
Yeah, that's one of the things I never understood is some people will make, meads that are not necessarily for, that they personally care for. And hey, whatever floats your boat, it's all cool. But I'm like you. I want mead that I will drink. So
yeah.
If, everybody else thinks that my idea of this particular, of what constitutes a good mead sucks, well, okay. Fine.
All the more for you.
All the more for me, yeah. And, and fortunately that's never, there's usually enough people to help me drink it that I don't have a problem, but it's, you should always, taste your honeys. Most honey sellers that I'm aware of provide those honey sticks, and that is the best way, I think, to get to know honeys and to get to know your honeys is to, if you've got some of your own, obviously taste it. But if you're going to try something new, get some honey sticks. Try it out and see what you think. Just taste it and make a decision from that.
Yeah, and always try to, when I first started out, I after like the third or fourth batch, I started keeping a little bit of that honey that I used. So that when the mead was done, like those first 1 gallon batches, you taste the mead, and then you have that honey